This cookie here kind of looks like an emoji.
Chocolate chip cookies. This is a very simple recipe, but it just takes time and patience. This is a slightly modified recipe from the Chainbaker. In a medium pot, put in 400 grams of salted butter. We're going to make brown butter or beurre noisette. Place the pot on the stove on medium heat. I'm using a whisk to help evenly brown the butter. In order to check on your brown butter, tilt the pot to see the browned milk solids. I like it when the color resembles coffee. That is when you know it's going to be extra nutty in flavor. After you're satisfied with the color of your browned butter, take it off from the heat and we're going to weigh it out. We started with 400 grams and we are down to about 327 grams. We have lost about 70 grams in liquid weight. We need to get it back to 400 grams. I'm going to add in 70 grams of cold, full-fat milk. This is to also help cool down the hot browned butter. We want the same weight of butter from the beginning, but now the butter has extra flavoring. Next, I have 3 dried vanilla pods. Place them in a spice grinder and make it into vanilla powder. After you have gotten vanilla powder, place it into the brown butter mixture. The heat in the butter will help infuse the vanilla. Set that to one side to cool. Next, measure in your stand mixing bowl 320 grams of golden castor sugar. Then 320 grams of light brown sugar. Then we're going to add in 20 grams of light corn syrup. If you don't have this, you can use honey or golden syrup. Corn syrup acts as a liquid absorber in cookie recipes, locking in moisture to create a significantly chewier, denser, and softer texture that lasts longer. As an invert sugar, it prevents granulated sugar from recrystallizing, resulting in less brittle cookies with a glossy finish, often used in bakery-style results. Then in goes 4 large eggs. Bring this over to your stand mixer and use a paddle attachment to make it come together. Now let's check on the temperature of the browned butter. Once it is cool to touch, you can pour it into the sugar and egg mixture. Now for the dry ingredient. Measure out 640 grams of soft plain flour, then 8 grams of bicarbonate soda, and then 8 grams of table salt. Pour the mixture in batches. Mix that until it is combined and pour in some more. Check that out, it is coming together beautifully. The last item is the chocolate. I am using chocolate Callebaut from Callebaut. You can of course make it with dark chocolate. I just prefer milk chocolate. Measure out 380 grams into a bowl and pour this into the batter. Make sure you have some chocolate chips left for later. Once everything has been mixed, place it into a frame or container. I'm using a baking tray lined with baking paper and a frame. Spread the mixture out evenly and wrap it. Place it in the fridge overnight. This will allow the flour to hydrate and for the butter to harden. Now, I have come back the next day and the mixture has some structure to it. Remove the frame and then remove the baking paper. It is time to portion the cookie dough. I will be weighing out 60 to 65 gram balls. This recipe makes 35 balls at that weight. The rounder you roll your cookies, the better it will spread into a perfect circle when you cook them. Because the cookies are a little soft after rolling them into balls, pop this into the freezer to harden up. I came back after 2 hours. That is super solid. I have a container. Place it all in the container and keep it in the freezer until you are ready for some cookies. So going forward, if I'm ever craving cookies, I have them ready in my freezer. You can keep these cookie balls for a good 6 months in your freezer in an airtight container. This is a heavy-duty tray lined with baking paper. This can only handle 6 cookies at a time. Make sure when you place the cookies, they can allow some airflow. Bake this cookie at 180 degrees Celsius, full fan for 15 minutes from frozen. Once the tray comes out of the oven, place it on a raised cooling rack. Now, while the cookie is still soft and warm, we can add some chocolate chips. Place them however you want, and as many as you want. This part doesn't have to be limited to just chocolate chips. You can place M&Ms, mini marshmallows, toasted nuts, and cut up chocolate bars, just to name a few. I leave this part to you. Once the cookies have cooled for a few minutes, pull the baking sheet on the cooling rack to help with the cooling process. Then you can enjoy a cookie after that.
So I've just made some browned butter milk chocolate chip cookies. They're still a bit warm. So what a better pairing than to have some warm cookies and a tall glass of milk. Cheers, guys. Oh. The chocolate on the top is still slightly melted. Oh. I think this is part of life's simple pleasures. A warm chocolate chip cookie and a tall glass of fresh milk. I love the marriage between a crispy cookie on the outside and a soft, gooey center on the inside. The very last bit.